everyone, it's Mona here, Craft Clutch. It's Friday, that means it's another Coaster Friday, and I am sick as a dog. That might stop me from going to work, but it's not going to stop me from making a coaster. So last week I picked Emily Nunn's idea out of the fishbowl, and it's a pumpkin coaster, so let's get to it.
I'm going to do 2 ounces for the base coat. You can do 1 ounce, but I'm just kind of feeling 2 ounces. And I'm using the Easy Cast, and I'm also going to use some of Resin Obsession's Opaque Orange. We're going to give that a try for the pumpkin. So we've got it mixed, and we're going to pour it right into the mold. Let the bubbles rise to the top, hit it with your lighter, pop them, and then we're going to let this sit 12 hours before we come back. This is cured, and now we're going to be working outside of the mold the rest of the time to turn this guy into a pumpkin. So now I'm going to use some acrylic paint, and I'm going to use a tangerine orange and a metallic 14 karat gold. And I'm going to mix them together because I want to keep with the orange, but I want it to have kind of a shimmery metallic look as well. So I'll mix them, but not necessarily completely. There'll still be some streaks, which is perfect. So this really looks just like an orange circle. It does not look like a pumpkin yet. Hopefully we'll be able to change that. This may take 2 coats. So if you think it needs a little more definition, I'm going to take a tiny bit of black acrylic paint on the same brush that had the other ones, and on the outer rims of these stripes I'm going to add just a little bit of the dark, and this is heavier than I expected. So if you feel like you got too much black, then you go back and pick up more of the orange and the gold, and you blend it all in. Let that dry. The paint has more or less dried, and now I just took some scrap construction paper in green and I cut different sized leaves out of it. So hopefully this is going to help us create the pumpkin look. And I have my super gloss Mod Podge. I'm going to put some of it on here. Then I'm going to take my leaves, paint them with the Mod Podge, put them in place, cover them with the Mod Podge. Okay, when you get it that far, then you want to cover everything with the Mod Podge so that there's no difference, just in case something ends up a little cloudy or different. You just want to make sure that's not a problem. Then I'll let it dry between coats and come back a couple times and cover it again, just to make sure that the paper is nice and sealed, because if it's not sealed, you will get dark spots on there from the resin, and we don't want that. So this stuff is dry, and now I have the Envirotex jewelry clay. It's an epoxy clay, and we've worked with this before, but I haven't worked with it in a while. And what you need to do is take equal parts of the A and the B and mix them together until there are no color stripes going through it. It's got to be solid. So the way you kind of measure it is you roll it into a ball, and you want them to be 2 equal balls. There's one. That looks pretty good to me. And you mix it just by kneading it together. And we're going to use this for the stem of the pumpkin, and it will adhere itself to the resin forever, and it gets like rock solid, rock hard. So I've rolled it into a bit of a log, and now I want to stick it to the top, and it'll get thinner on top. You can shape it whatever way you want. Okay, I want to shape it to a little bit of a point coming over even. I'm going to use a trusty skewer stick, and I'm going to put some stripes in here just to give it a little bit of shape, little texture. And then I have pigment powder. This has some shimmer to it, and I'm going to put it right on it. And the nice thing is that this will adhere to it and stick to it forever, so we don't need to seal it or put any adhesive on it or anything like that. Now the only thing is I want to try to keep it away from the top of the pumpkin because we want to do another layer of resin there. Okay, and I'm going to run my blade under it because I want to get the pigment powder under as well. You don't want the back to not have the color. So I want to carefully do that. Then you just let that cure. I mixed about an ounce of resin, and this should be more than enough to do what I need to do. And all I'm going to do is really just cover this and dome it. I'm just going to slowly pour this on here and let it spread out. I don't want it to overflow, so maybe about an ounce is right. I'm going to help it over the edge. Once you get the resin on there, hit it with the lighter, pop the bubbles, and then let it sit for 12 hours. You got yourself a cool coaster. These are great for the whole fall season, but obviously for Thanksgiving. So here's our coaster all finished. This thing is rock solid and everything is covered. I did end up having a couple spots that did get darker on the construction paper. I thought I had it fully sealed, but you know what? That happens in nature too, so I'm not too worried about it. Be sure to let me know what you think of this coaster in the comments below. Alright, it is time for the fishbowl. And it is Linda Torres Thanksgiving coaster. And she had a lot of things on there, including cornucopia or Thanksgiving meal. I'm going to have to give that some thought. I have some ideas. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you next Friday for that. But remember, Monday I always have a new video. And we'll see you next time, you guys. And remember to let me know what you think of the coaster in the comments below. Remember, subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Remember to add your idea for next week. In the meantime, stay safe and happy crafting. Stay well. I hope I didn't infect you.